from what I've learned in my experience, it's not about forcing things and trying to, make a success of yourself in one day, in 1 week. It really is about showing up in very small, simple ways consistently. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Alessia. Today, I'm going to be giving you some journal prompts for self-discovery. They are going to help you follow your passions and discover your passions and your purpose. I think a lot of us struggle to have that light bulb moment where we're like, this is the right career for me. It's really hard to have that realization when in education our focus is very narrowed onto what society wants us to learn, maths, science, English, and we learn about these topics in very restricted ways. There's not actually much freedom in the education system. Well, I'm speaking in terms of my experience in England, but yeah, there's not that much freedom to explore topics in your own way, in your own unique ways, and there's not much freedom to explore your curiosities. So it's really understandable that you are in this position where you're kind of clueless and you're a bit like, well, I don't know what direction I want to go in, I don't know what career I want, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what my passions are. I'm sure you are a really passionate, clever, eager to get going kind of person, because you're watching this video, you're clearly willing to put the effort in and you're clearly curious, because yeah, you're watching this video. So please don't be mean to yourself or self-punish. Just know that you're doing everything you can. You're watching this video. Let's figure it out together. Let's get on with the journal prompts. You don't necessarily need to journal whilst I go through these. You could literally just ponder some things whilst I speak to you and allow your mind to go places whilst I say these things. So the first kind of journal prompt is, what fascinates you? What energizes you? What topics do you find yourself constantly going back to and constantly being curious about? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you watch YouTube videos? Do you read books about a particular topic? Do you have a topic that you just keep going back to, a genre, a subject that you find really captivating? These don't need to just be topics that you find interesting. These topics can be your passion, a passion that you turn into a career, future, a job. Obviously, for some of us, we don't want to turn our passions into a job. We just want stability, and then we want to explore our passions in our free time. But for me, I find it super empowering that the work that I do is really enjoyable and it comes from a real deep, true place. If I wasn't actually working, I would still be doing a lot of the stuff that I am doing now. I would still be curious about mental health and feminism and finding one's purpose and self-love. I'd still be researching all of that and curious about all of that, even if I wasn't making money from it or I wasn't making, a future career out of anything. It's just something that I tend to gravitate towards. So what do you gravitate towards? Okay, my next kind of journal prompt. Imagine you won the lottery. You do not have to worry about money anymore, at all. What would you do to keep yourself busy that you would find fun and interesting and that would keep your attention? What would you do each day to give you a sense of purpose? What would you choose to do if you didn't have to worry about money? What would give you that lovely sense of fulfillment? The thing that you are thinking of is the thing that you are passionate about, and I believe that's what you should now follow and maybe try and turn it into a job, because that will mean that every day you wake up and you're excited to do what you do. And when we can bring passion and excitement to what we do, we really do create really good work, and we really do show up, and we really do have these really unique insights and exciting ideas to bring, because we're always thinking about it and we're always thinking outside the box, because it's just something that our mind naturally is curious about. We can make big differences in the world, and we can be really good at something if we naturally find ourselves curious about a topic. I'm always watching YouTube videos about feminism and psychology and mental health, and listening to podcasts and talking to my friends about mental health. So naturally, when it comes to making these videos or writing my articles, I've got so many ideas. I'm constantly there. My mind is constantly thinking about all this stuff. So I just have an abundance of knowledge and insight to give, and that makes me really confident. It makes me really good at my job, even if that sounds a bit up myself. I'm proud of the content I make, both on YouTube and the written content that I do. I just think that that is going to lead me down really exciting paths, and it's going to bring me a lot of success. So I just couldn't encourage you enough to follow what you find fascinating. Okay, my next journal prompt is, what project or piece of work are you really proud of that you have done in the past? What stands out to you? What did you really enjoy doing, and what did you really want to show off? What piece of work at maybe school or university, what piece of work really made you proud of yourself? And what piece of work did you really enjoy doing? For me, when I was at university, I did a journalism module and I had to write a blog, and I ended up writing a kind of woman empowerment piece, and I loved it. I took so much time to research everything, more time than necessary, to be honest, but because I was so passionate about it, I just didn't mind researching and over researching and having too much information. I loved that, and I loved writing the piece, and I sent it to all my family members, and I was really excited to submit it, and that really showed me what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And now I'm writing articles for a magazine, and I am making content for women, and I'm researching. And it's funny how at that point in time I was like, wow, this is so amazing, I love it, I just want to continue doing it. And now I'm here, and it's literally like my everyday. I wake up and that's what I do a lot of the time. I do a lot of researching and writing and speaking to women. I think it's really good to reflect on the projects that you've done in the past that you've really enjoyed, and to pinpoint why. Why did you enjoy it? If you enjoyed it because you loved speaking to big groups of people, then maybe that's something you want to look into doing as a job. Maybe you want to be a public speaker. Maybe you're really into politics too. Maybe you could be Prime Minister. Yeah, really unpick why you enjoyed the certain project. Okay, my next journal prompt. If you were suddenly an old lady sitting in a rocking chair talking to her grandkids about her life, about what she did on a day-to-day basis, about her job, what would you be proud to say that you did? What would fill you with joy and fulfillment talking about and telling your grandkids, oh, I did this? What would make you feel really good, as opposed to feeling really regretful? Because I think a lot of people say, oh, I regret working too hard, or I regret not following my dreams. What would give you that confidence to sit in that rocking chair and say, I did this and I'm really proud of it, and this was my journey, and this is my advice for you? What kind of job or what kind of passion or whatever project would make you proud to sit there and say, look at me, grandkids, this is what I did? My next journal prompt. If fear wouldn't get in your way, if you knew that you could be successful, what would you do? What would you do with your life right now? If right now you woke up and you experienced no fear and you knew, oh, I'm going to be successful in this, what would you jump to do? Would you jump to get your laptop up and start writing an article? Would you jump to get your phone and film yourself talking about mental health? Would you try and start your own clothing business? What would you jump to do if you knew that you were going to be successful? Okay, so my last kind of journal prompt thing that I would actually encourage you to write down now. I know I've said you can just think about it as I talk, but this I'd really encourage you to do. I want you to come up with some very simple, actionable goals that you can meet in the next 2 months. I want you to write them down in a kind of letter to yourself, and be really gentle and kind with yourself in this letter. Say, hello, future Alessia, or future, whatever your name is. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're getting enough sleep. I hope you know that whatever position you're in, I'm proud of you. But we have set these goals, and these are the goals, blah, 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 blah. Have you met them? If you have, be proud of yourself. This is a step in the right direction. Small steps take us to big places, so well done. Yeah, I want you to write that letter out, and I want you to set out those 2 goals that you can reach within 2 months. 2 simple goals that are going to put you on your path to success. An example goal could be, maybe you want to be a therapist, so an example goal could be spend some time researching what qualifications you need to become a therapist. Or if you want to start your own mental health podcast, and a really lovely space where you make people feel less alone, your goal could be come up with the name for your mental health podcast. think of some goals that you can achieve that will actually also be really helpful and that will really give you that little nudge in the right direction, and write them out to future you, not, in a year's time, 2 months. I think if we set goals for like a year's time, it's very easy to lose sight of it. So 2 months time only, you need to have these goals achieved and done. And I'm going to encourage you to set 2 reminders. One for when a month's gone by, reminding you to, focus on those goals and get them done. And the second one to remind you to actually sit down and read the letter, light a candle, put on some music and read back that letter, read back those goals and be like, do you know what? I've done this. And in that letter, you can just be really lovely with yourself and treat it almost like you're writing a letter to your best friend. So yeah, get that ball rolling and set some goals and visualize yourself achieving those goals now if you've come up with them. Visualizing things helps us to make those things happen. So yeah, once you've set those goals, visualize yourself doing it, and I think you'll be more encouraged and motivated to get on with it. But yeah, it really is about just making those small steps. From what I've learned in my experience, it's not about forcing things and trying to make a success of yourself in one day, in 1 week. It really is about showing up in very small, simple ways consistently. That's certainly what I did with my YouTube. I just, chose my profile photo for YouTube. I thought of my YouTube name. I thought of my first video idea. It was very simple and actually not very overwhelming, because I was able to kind of break things down and not be like, I just want to have 1 million subscribers and, collaborate with all these amazing people. And yes, having that kind of future aspiration is lovely and it keeps you excited and motivated, and it's nice to think about, but it's also good to not put pressure on yourself to get there quickly and to not jump in the deep end and achieve that all in 1 week. It's good to be like, small steps are fun, easy and tangible, and I can do them. Those are my kind of like journal prompts. I hope they were useful. Please share them with anyone who you think will find them useful, and just be really kind with yourself. I know that it's quite scary trying to think of what your purpose is in this world, and it's scary thinking about the future. I try to encourage people to be as present as possible, but sometimes we do need to plan a little bit. But I just want you to know that you're enough just as you are, and that in this moment, if you just don't have the energy to put into finding out what your passion is or purpose is, just take a moment to do some deep breaths. Maybe fuel your body by having some food, hydrating, and then come back to it later. Don't pressure yourself too much, and know that you don't need to be this person that achieves lots of things in order to be worthy. You really don't. It's great to have that purpose and to do a job that you like, because it means, your days are just more joyful. And I want that for you, but you don't need to be this successful business person in order to feel proud of yourself and in order to be a person worthy of love and appreciation. You right now, the person who maybe is lacking a purpose, lacking a passion, you are already worthy of love. I'm sure you've done so many things that you should feel proud of, and I'm sure you're a really lovely, caring person. So also just be really lovely with yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Please share, subscribe, hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified when I post. I do post every week. So I will see you next week.